Well, hey everybody, and welcome to my sister's kitchen in Charleston. I just started this video again because I'm trying to make for you Lynn's chicken, which is what I actually made earlier this week. But at the end of the day, I had all kinds of filming problems, and that's kind of what started today too. Anyway, I'm in Charleston. I'm at my sister's house, and this is actually my brother-in-law's mother's recipe. And so I thought we would make it for him tonight. When I made it on Monday, I had a lot of you tell me that the camera angle was tough, and I was trying out a new tripod. So anyway, here we go. What I have here, because we like dark meat, so what I have here is bone-in, skin-on thighs, chicken thighs. What I also want to show you is that I have salt, peppered, and paprika them. And what I actually didn't do and should have done, and I just saw a pair of scissors around here. Here they are. Or actually a knife will be better. What I should have done, and I'm going to do right now, is flip this piece of chicken over. Let's get some chicken into the picture, not my face. There we go. Flip this chicken over, and you see where this bone is right here? I know it's kind of hard because of the sun, but I want you to take and make a slice down this side and down this side of the bone. What that does is that helps that oil get in there and cook it to the bone. So we want to do that on every piece. I'm going to flip it over, and on both sides of the bone, I'm going to cut a slit down both sides of the bone. That just helps it cook it quicker, actually. So if you don't do that, it's not a big deal, but it's a helpful hint. So what we're going to do, and what we have done here, is we have started these in a pan, and I've got avocado oil in here. Now, I'm going to tell you that, I mean, you can start with, depends on how much chicken you're cooking. If you're cooking 4 pieces of chicken, you might need 1/4 of a cup or a little bit more. If you're cooking 8 pieces of chicken, you might need ½ a cup. So you're going to have to gauge that for yourself. See if I can get this to turn. And what you're going to do is put this in here skin side down. That's the side that we seasoned. Sorry for my get myself together here. And you're going to season this side in the pan. So salt, pepper, and paprika. You can give it, come out. Come on, you can do it. We're going to put it down, skin side down, the first side, and then we're just cooking it to brown it off here because we're going to make a sauce, and the sauce is what we're going to finish it in. So let me flip this. Stick on me. Because this one's been in here for a few. And that's what you're looking for, that nice golden color. So let me get the rest of these in the pan, and I'll be right back. And I need to wash my hands. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my, I have some more chicken thighs down. I put the skin side that we had already seasoned down. I've sprinkled some salt on here, and a little bit more pepper. And you know what? You do this to taste too. If you don't like salt and pepper, or if you don't want as much, I just shower with it because it really can take a lot of, especially kosher salt. And then with the paprika, you really want to be generous with it because, like I said, that is kind of the basis of this recipe. So really get it down in there. I hope you can see that. I might should be on this other burner over here, to tell you the truth. I think I am, so I'm going to switch this, guys. Because I think you might can see it better if I'm over here. How about that? Is that better? There you go. And these are about ready to come out. And you're really literally doing this for maybe 3 to 4 minutes on each side, because you're just browning. You're not cooking these now, you're just browning them. And so these two can come out. And I'm just putting them on a clean piece of foil on a cookie sheet, because I'm just going to hold them until I make the sauce. Okay, so let's put these over here. Get a few more. And get them in. Ooh, these are big. These are big ones. Nice big ones. These might be ready to flip. Maybe not just yet. And for these, again, same thing. Now that the skin side's down, I'm going to salt them, pepper them, and paprika. And I mean, like I said, paprika is don't be afraid of it. It's not a huge powerful spice at all. But it is the basis of this, and it's going to be great. So I am going to go ahead and get these all browned up, and I'll come back to you when it's time to make the sauce. Okay, so look at how lovely that looks. Nice and brown. It's browned on both sides, and like I said, it was maybe 3 or 4 minutes on each side. So now I want to show you this, because I'm going to tell you I probably used about half a cup of oil, whatever, like I said, whatever kind of oil you want to use, just a light oil, clear oil is what you want. And I want you to see all of this oil in here. Can you see that? I don't need that much, because I'm going to be basically making a roux and making a gravy, and I'm going to stick this chicken back down in the gravy, put a top on it, and I'm going to leave it on the stove for an hour to cook it. So I don't need that. I want those yummy drippings, but I don't want all of that oil. So I'm going to, what I do, and you know, if you have a grease catcher or a tin can handy, that works too. But this will work. Just make sure that you put it, I'm going to put it on a heat, because it's just paper. So I'm going to put it on something. I'm going to put it on something so that it's not on my counter, so that you're not going to burn your counter. But then if you let this get cool, then you can just, you know, toss it. So I'm going to pour out a little of this grease, and I'll be right back. When you do it, please be very careful. It's hot. Be right back. Okay, so I poured it out, and I'm telling you that's probably about a quarter, maybe just a little bit less than a quarter of a cup of oil. And then all those yummy drippings, which I want those. I want those for my gravy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this aside, get this out of my way for a moment. And I'm going to bring this to where it's bubbling again. It won't take a minute, because it's you know, still pretty hot. Let's get the right burner on. And whenever you're making a roux, you want to make sure what you have in here is hot. I mean, because you want it bubbling, because when you introduce the liquid to it, that's what's going to make it thicken, and you want to make sure you can keep it moving. So this is pretty hot, I have to say. So to this, I am going to add, here it is, 4 tablespoons of flour. Okay, so this is just plain all-purpose flour. Putting it down in there. Try to get it as level as you can. Give or take won't hurt. You can always add a little bit more liquid if you need to. 3 and 4. And also to this, I do believe it's 2, yes, or it says 2 teaspoons of ground mustard. So there is 1. And we're cooking here, guys, so if it's not an exact science, it's okay. Baking, it's not okay. Cooking, you're good if you're a little over. Okay, so we'll put that down for just a minute. And can you see how this is nice and bubbling up here? We're going to keep it moving. Keep it, because we want to get it in this grease. And whenever you've got, whenever you're making a roux or making a gravy, you want to make sure that you cook your flour for just a minute or two, because you're cooking the flour taste out of it. And all of these things that are on the bottom of my pan here will come up when I add the chicken stock. I've got 2 cups of chicken stock here, and I'm going to put that in here as soon as I get this. See, it's nice and bubbly. I want you to make sure you see that, because that's really important, because if it's not hot enough, when you put your liquid in, it's not going to thicken up, and that's what's going to keep it from getting lumpy. And I think that looks good, so I am going to add this. Now I'm going to whisk it as I put it in, and I'm going to pull up the stuff from the bottom, because I want all that good stuff. Keep whisking. Keep whisking. So, because if it starts to look like it's going to clump, don't panic. Just keep whisking, and I got to hold on to the side of this, and it'll all come together. Just keep whisking it up, and it will begin to thicken. Turn that up a little bit, and I don't think you can see the bottom of it anymore. I can barely see the bottom of it anymore, but I can feel it, and I'm getting all of my nice pan drippings up. I'm actually going to change off to a wooden spoon so that I can make sure I get all of that good stuff on the bottom. Oh, this is such a great recipe, y'all. I'm telling you, it's not hard. And we're going to do it over egg noodles tonight. You can do it over mashed potatoes. You can do it over spaghetti squash. But it is such a great gravy that you got to put it on something. I'm telling you that part for sure. All right. Now I'm going to add a few more other things to it. Okay. I am going to add, this is going to sound weird, but just trust me here. I'm going to add 4 teaspoons of ketchup. There's 1. And be generous. 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to add 4 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. The thing that's almost impossible to say and really even harder to spell. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to use my whisk here and whisk that all together. And turn this down a little bit. I want it to boil away on me. I know that whole combination of chicken stock and ketchup, but I'm telling you, just trust me on this one. Okay, and then last but not least, I want to just check. Yep, mustard, and also I want to make sure that I say to you, because you know I always tell you this, so for people who are new, get chicken stock. Don't get chicken broth. Get chicken stock. It costs a little bit more, but at the end of the day, it is so much better. Chicken broth is like dishwater. I'm telling you, it has no flavor. Go with stock. The last thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to put you on pause for just a minute, well actually it's right here, is I'm going to add a cup of sherry. Now you can use white wine if you don't have sherry. This is what I use, Christian Brothers. I don't drink sherry. It's not my favorite thing at all, but it is awesome to cook with. And I will also tell you that if you're in the grocery store and it says cooking sherry in the baking aisle, cooking sherry or cooking wine, don't buy that stuff. That stuff is nothing but sodium. It is not good. It is not good. That big giant bottle I think was $7. and it will stay in my pantry. Adding that in. It will stay in my pantry, and I will cook with it, and it is so flavorful, especially in this. But if you have white wine will work too. But I gotta tell you, if you sherry in this recipe is just what puts it over the top. And you're gonna cook this for an hour, so all alcohol is going to cook out of it. So do not be alarmed if you're serving it to children or if you have alcohol issues. Don't worry about it. Okay, and that is as hard as it gets. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to slide these chicken breasts, thighs, sorry about that. We're gonna put these back in here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them in, turn them, and coat them. And get the big ones in first. And then I'm going to put the lid on this thing. I'm going to let it simmer for an hour. Actually, yeah, these are really big chicken thighs. So now, you know, as I said the other day, when I made it the other day, you can certainly do this with white meats, with chicken breast, skinless, boneless chicken breast. Not a problem at all. It's delicious. So you do the same exact thing, even though it doesn't have any skin on it, doesn't matter. Still go ahead and salt, pepper, paprika it. Oh, well, ouch. I'm going to be doing my sister's floors tonight. Anyway, you salt, pepper, paprika it, even though it has no skin on it, it's fine. It will still brown. You want to brown it up. I'm getting there. And just the same as you did as I did with these thighs. It'll be just fine, and it's really very good. I will say the white meat chicken is very good, and it's the same exact cooking thing. We're going to put a lid on it. You can make a mix of them, white meat and thighs. Now, doesn't that look wonderful? And to tell you the honest truth, I'm pouring in this juice too, because that's all good juice. All right. So, I'm going to put the lid on this. Hang on one second. Can I get those on? See, it's up to a nice simmer here. So, I'm going to actually knock that back. It's kind of boiling. I'm going to knock that back. I'm going to set a timer for 1 hour. And it's going to be done. So, I don't know, because I'm not in my own kitchen, if I'm going to show you the finished product. Everyone gets all wigged out because I don't often show the finished product, and that's because I don't leave my camera going for the hour that it takes. So if I can, I will show this to you, even if it's just a still shot, which is probably what it will be. But that's all that happens. You put the lid back on here. I'm going to knock this back a good bit so it'll just simmer, and it'll simmer, like I said, for an hour, and it will be delicious. We'll make the egg noodles. We'll put the egg noodles down, a little gravy, and the chicken on top. It'll be wonderful. So try it. It's really good. Have a good night. Okay, an hour has passed, and I want you to look at this. Oh, my Lanta. This is so good. I gotta tell you. So, I am going to make some egg noodles, and we are going to put a chicken breast on top of an egg noodles with this gravy, and it's going to be delish. So I hope you try it, and I hope you could see this one a lot easier than you could the first one. So thanks, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.